No, it's fine. Good morning. Welcome to this gathering. We are so pleased. Can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me. Okay. We're so pleased you're here this morning, gathering here in this second Sunday in this winter Advent season, and we're glad to be together as community this morning, whether we're here in person, online this morning, or whenever you join us. Thank you for being here. To give acknowledgement to the land this morning, I want to share with you some words from the book Sacred Instructions, Indigenous Wisdom for Living Spirit-Based Change. It's by Sherry Mitchell, or Wena Hamu Kwaset, She Who Brings the Light. This is from her chapter on creation songs. Our individual stories begin with the story of our creation. My creation stories have come to me through the teachings of my tribe, the Penawapskek, the Penobscot Nation. Our homelands are located along various waterways in Maine and the Canadian Maritimes. One of these stories tells us that we were created when Kluskap, the man from nothing, shot an arrow into the ash tree and opened a doorway into this world. This story teaches us that we are made of the same elements that make up the natural world. In this story, we're born out of the ash tree. And so, the ash tree is our kin and should be honored in the same way that we honor our human family. When we weave baskets from the pulp of the ash tree, we are reminding ourselves that we are woven from the same foundational elements that make up all of life on this planet. When we go into ceremony, our origin stories begin in the stars. We enter the lodge and learn that our original instructions are contained in the essence of those stars. They are held in the dust of creation, and from this star's radiance we were born, and the great migration of the soul begins. Though we have migrated a great distance, the radiance of that star still resonates within us. It's the essence of something indescribable that is etched upon our souls. It stirs something deep within us, the call of recognition, of remembrance, of connection to one another, the natural world. Science has finally caught up to what has been held by Indigenous peoples from the beginning of time, that we are all related. And so we honor all our relations as we gather on the traditional lands of the North Saskatchewan River, whether that be here in Edmonton or in Saskatoon, located within Treaty 6 territory and within the Métis homelands and Métis nations of Alberta Region 4. We honor this time, this land, and our connection to all.
Good morning. My name's Blair Anderson Croft, your gathering companion for the morning. It's my privilege to share affirmations of our inclusion and diversity that is a treasured part of our welcome each time we gather. Let's celebrate that in this community, we are all welcome to be who we are and who we're becoming. We affirm our inclusion and belonging as we work together, build a safe place for all people, all sizes, all ages, all colors, all genders, all cultures, all abilities, all sexualities, all learning styles and neurotypes, all religions or none, all people. Welcome to our community. The 4 candles on our table are held in a circle of green. With each candle, we count down through the season of winter's dark toward the return of longer light towards Christmas. This season invites us to grow our light and shine in the darkness.
We relight the first candle in our wreath, reminding us that we grow this light with our acts of kindness. And today we light the second candle, inviting us to grow the light through our acts of justice.
We live as lights, even as we wait for more light to come.
It's time for all ages time. I welcome anyone who wants to come to the carpet. Come close to the carpet. Hi, Tyler. Hello. Nice to see you after a while. We're welcome to come. Either sit on the carpet or sit close. Could I invite you to move closer to me a little bit so there's room for others at the back of the carpet there? Perfect. Great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Excellent. I have a really quick story for you this morning. It's called What If Everybody Did That? It's by Ellen Javernick. All right. On the way to visit Grandma and Grandpa in Kansas, I dropped just one pop can out of the window. The police officer who pulled us over said, "What if everyone did that?" Look at the picture. Everyone throwing their garbage out of the car. I just wanted to see how fast the grocery cart would go. It went faster than I expected. When the manager stopped me, she said, "What if everybody did that?" Well, here we see a picture of everybody racing and crashing their shopping carts. At Uncle William's wedding, I took just a little lick of the icing from the fancy cake. The lady behind the table glared at me over her glasses and said, "Ugh, what if everybody did that?" I told the babysitter that I took a bath just once a year. And as she shooed me into the bathroom, she said, "What if everybody did that?" Look at the family picture. Oof. I wouldn't want to be the photographer. During story time, I had something important to say. I just couldn't wait till the end of the story. The librarian put her finger to her lips and said, "What if everybody did that?" Well, then we'd have all the kids talking during story time saying, "I'm so hungry. I can touch my toes, see? How much do you weigh? I gotta go potty. Why can't we read one of those other books? I've already heard this one." Well, some of you might be thinking all those things, but we can't all. What if everyone just blurted it out? Okay, next page. While we sat in the car waiting for Dad, I honked the horn. I just honked a few times. But Mr. Thompson came to his door and he shook his head and said, "What if everybody did that?" Imagine the noise. Beep, beep, honk, honk. Just once I didn't hang my coat on the rack at school. Miss Sanders made me pick it up and said, "What if everyone did that?" Well, we'd have a whole pile, wouldn't we? At recess, I threw just one snowball at Sammy. Mr. Walters saw me when he sent me to stand by the wall. He said, "What if everybody did that?" Uh-oh. When we went out for dinner, I just shot one straw wrapper. The waitress stopped taking our order and looked straight at me and she said, "Can you guess? What if everybody did that?" When I came home, I gave my mom a hug. What if everybody did that? Everybody should. This is just a silly, quick little story. It reminds us whenever we're thinking about doing something, anything, if we could imagine if that were the thing that everybody was doing, would it be okay? It's a good way for us to think about whether something is good for us to do or something is not so good for us to do. If we think, well, maybe it's okay if I just take one little lick of the icing on that fancy cake. Imagine if everyone just came and took a lick of the cake. It's probably a good thing to help us decide what's good, what's not so good. Yes, you've got something to say.
What's the grossest on every page? The grossest thing.
Which one was the grossest?
Yeah,
Well, that is a good question. What do you think?
I did not read all of them.
No, it might be not taking a bath for a year. Do you think? Yeah. The cake one is kind of gross too. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And then there's only one page at the back that talks about something really good. It's about when this person comes home and hugs their mom. And what if everyone did that? Well, can you think of some other things that might be something we could continue this book with about some good things? That imagine if everyone could do something good like that. What a great thing that would be. Can you think of anything? So hugging your mom is one idea. What's another good thing that we wish everyone could do?
Doing something like if someone didn't ask you to do this thing, you did it without anyone.
Oh, that's lovely. If someone asks you to do something, then the person would just do it. And do it helpfully. That's amazing. Yes, that's a good one. You've got something.
If someone is feeling left out, play with
If someone's feeling left out, if everyone played with them. Wouldn't that be great if everyone did that?
Yeah.
Yes. Do you have one?
saying thank you. Is everybody always having fun?
Oh, to have fun. Yes. That you could make sure everyone was having fun. Lily.
Saying thank you.
Saying thank you. Very good. What if everyone did that? Wouldn't that be lovely? I love the enthusiasm. Beautiful. What if everyone answered the questions on the carpet? Wouldn't that be great? I love it. So now, thank you to this book. I know that when I'm driving home, I'm going to think about all the things that I might do today and make sure that it's something that I wish everyone could do. Because if it's not, then maybe I won't do it. It's good for me. Thanks for coming to this story time. I invite you to Kids Spirit today. Kids Spirit's going strong. Lots of Christmas wonderful preparation things to do in Kids Spirit. Of course, the baby room is and playroom. You're welcome. What if everyone did that?
We're going to try this loving, passionate life in a round, but do not fear. We have the trusted Jeff and Carolyn here to guide you. So I'm going to play it through once so you have the tune in your head. Then you will all join in and sing the loving, passionate life all together. The second time you'll sing, and it's We Seek Justice. The second time you'll sing We Seek Freedom, but you're all still singing together. And by then, I think you're ready to split into two groups. I believe in you. I know you can do this. This is not that complicated. And if you're really feeling want to be challenged, you can actually split more. So for the third verse, we'll have, we have 3 sections, not 4 sections. Just like half. So, sort of like this. You can decide which neighbor you prefer to sing with, that neighbor or that neighbor. You can choose whichever one. Both neighbors are equally good. Over here, you guys can, right? Or is there just more people over here in general? Maybe I just do this. I don't know. Patsy's like, yes. We could just make it easy and do this. Yes, Aaron's like, yes. I don't know. I like to make things complicated. So then you will sing. Jeff will sing with this side. Carolyn will sing this with this side, and we'll carry on with We Seek Dignity will be the third verse, and the fourth verse will be the fourth time through we will sing We Will Seek Peace in Our Day. And hopefully that's clear as mud for everyone. And hopefully we'll end at the same time. Or 2 measures apart. 2 measures apart. Oh, we're just doing 4. We can do it.
living, passionate life, strong and vibrant in us as we seek peace in our day for all people.
It's a good thing Chris is directing traffic this morning. So, announcements. Should people have anything they would like to say, short, sweet, direct to the point, please form a line to the right. There are a couple things that I would like to bring forth to everybody's attention. We have Blue Christmas this Wednesday at 7 o'clock. There are sign-up sheets both for the Blue Christmas as well as Christmas Eve sign-up. Very busy time. We need people for the luminas to go out and to be lit and then gathered up at the end. Treats for the little pumpkins for the 10 o'clock a.m. Christmas Eve for the little people and their parents. Then we have a 7 and 9 service, so we will need some help in all of those pieces. And I know that everybody's just going to rush out and sign up. And then, oh, I'll let Paxi talk about that. I won't say it. And then we have Kim.
Kim Boyes for wearing my treasurer hat today. Thank you to all who give to this congregation and this community and all the different ways, PayPal, e-transfers, Canada Helps, cash, checks, fundraisers, etc. But there's just the one particular thing about e-transfers that thank you very much for sending e-transfers, and the majority of people write notes so that I know how to code it in the accounting system, but there's some that don't leave notes, so I don't have a clue what it's for. So in the future, when you send an e-transfer, please write good notes so that I know what it's for. Thank you very much.
Good morning. I'm Paxi. I use they, them pronouns. I also go by Eliana. And I'm going to try to be short and sweet. We've got a lot going on with the Affirm Committee in December. First of all, I'm finally now a benevolent dictator as I got voted in as the chair. Yay! So now you all have to listen to what I'm going to say. Thank you. I've got a hype man behind me. So now I forget. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm going to go backwards through December so that you remember the stuff happening today when I'm done talking. So backwards through December, on December 15th, we have our Affirm afternoon that starts at 1 p.m. in the small hall. And for that, we are going to have a guided meditation led by Tracy, which is going to be lovely, followed by gingerbread house making. Woohoo! Doesn't that sound fun? And then the day before that, if you are a hockey fan, specifically the Oilers, or I suppose the Golden Knights, you can come to Mimi's Pub on the south side with us to come watch the game. Now, we would prefer if you RSVP, so please email Dara. All of the information is in this past week's messenger, will be in next week's messenger, and is available on the website. Are you ready for today? Who knows the alphabet? ABCD, indeed. Who all knows what 2S LGBTQIA+ stands for? Some people, but perhaps not all of us, and that's okay, because today we've got some stuff for you folks. That's right, we have cream of potato soup and biscuits, and you can come and learn what's in the alphabet. So lunch is by donation. That's after today's gathering. And on top of that, we've got some bracelets for sale made by our lovely local artist, Lana. who is in the back here wearing excellent Santa clothing. And they are out in the foyer. They're cash only or e-transfer to Ainsley. And they're $15. They come in pride colors. And once again, if you like the Oilers, there's tons of bracelets there for you. There's someone that says Nuge. Okay, that's all. I hope to see you this afternoon. Next.
Thanks, Paxi. Hi, I'm Marg Hetherington from Outreach. Just a little last-minute reminder about the Bissell Center's festive giveaway. Thanks for the generous spirit, and we still have this week and next Sunday to bring in our gifts for infants, children, and teens. Thanks for not wrapping them. This is now the approach at Bissell Center, so parents and guardians can choose themselves for their children and teens. So wonderful, exciting times at Bissell Center as that festive giveaway happens in the coming weeks. And I don't know if you caught in the Morning Messenger, there's a wonderful article that Ainsley has gathered for us on Hope Terrace. I don't know how much we know about Hope Terrace, but it's a Homeward Trust and Bissell Center partnership. Bissell provides in-house support, and 31 people live there who are experiencing fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. It's one of the unique places in Canada where there's 24-hour-a-day care and support. And so there's a new way of, at least it's new to me, for being in a Christmas spirit, is with any of the folk there, only by initials, but they've all created their wish lists for Christmas. And if you would like to get in on that program, you go in and you let Bissell Center know too. You choose the person you'd like to try and fulfill some of their wish list. And so look it up. And if you'd prefer to give $100 in lieu of that to Bissell Center by filling in all the right places, someone from Bissell will shop for you for that particular person. So a special gift for an action for 31 people at Homeward Trust. Thanks very much, and next week we will, next Sunday, last time, and then people will be delivering for us down to Bissell Center. Thanks, Sheila.
I'm really very quick. The oil will be on sale at the back. There is a tune oil for the Palestinian farmers. I mean, as you well know from the news, things just seem to get worse and worse. But we're still getting the oil out of the country. It's about mid-Israel, and the factory's still working. They're having trouble getting the olives. But we're selling, and we have only 10 of the large bottles left. We have lots of the small bottles, and but we're getting a new shipment in. So think about Christmas and who you might be able to give. You know, some people take it instead of a bottle of wine. It's a great gift, and it certainly helps because all of the extra money, other than the cost, goes to Palestinian farmers. Thank you.
Back in November, we had the engagement month. And after one of the gatherings, I was talking to Jakob about how I did a head count of approximately how many people were in the congregation. And there were about 100 that week. Now, I've just had a look around. There's probably about 100 people here today. And he was asking for people to think about being more generous towards supporting the church itself, and that we had a shortfall of about $33,000 in the annual budget. And I said, well, I actually suggested something, and he said, well, why don't you get up and say it? So here I am. I didn't do it sooner because I had the flu and was not functioning for a couple of weeks. And basically, if everybody in this congregation put what they can manage, but ideally about $20 extra in the box at the back as they go out, you'd raise $20,000 right there. And it's a difficult time of year because we all go donating to everything. So maybe in January. But it struck my mind that it wouldn't take very long to make up that shortfall. Some people could afford more, some people couldn't afford that much. But it doesn't take an awful lot. Drops in the ocean, basically, to make up that shortfall. So, Jakob, if you're here, I hope I've said it right. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And for all other announcements, please check the morning messenger. As you can tell, the world is quite busy around here, and I'm really glad that we managed to pull off the things that we do. So thank you to everybody who's here.
Good morning. My name is Deb, and I'm here with Pam and Cindy to sing a quartet. And today's quartet, the theme is peace, and it weaves in a familiar carol, Silent Night, with some words that are changed a little bit. So we would like to invite you to join us when we get to Silent Night, and it'll be up on the screen, and it just weaves through the music that we're singing. So hopefully you can help us with that.
Peace, peace, peace on earth and goodwill to all. This is a time for joy. This is a time for love. Now let us all sing together of peace, peace, peace on earth. Peace, peace, peace on earth and goodwill to all. This is a time for joy. This is a time for love. Now let us all sing together of peace, peace, peace on earth. Peace, peace, peace on earth and goodwill to all. This is a time for joy. This is a time for love. Now let us all sing together of peace, peace, peace on earth.
I want to start today by telling a story of something that happened to me about 20 years ago, and it's stuck with me ever since. I remember it like it was yesterday, and I want to tell you this story. It's really the story of a meeting. I was working with the community organizing group, the Greater Edmonton Alliance, GEA, an organization that actually still exists today, and that at one time SSUC was a key contributing member. They work collectively to build power and capacity to make community change and tackle issues of justice. Through that work, we had a relationship with St. Charles Catholic Parish on the north side. They were hearing stories from people in their neighborhood who were living in a rental complex called Ascot Gardens. That's Ascot Gardens from above. It's the kind of apartment complex you recognize in almost every city in Edmonton and beyond that, I'm sure. In what is now a very common story, this complex was sold and was slated to be converted into condominiums. As an organization, we started talking to those residents and hearing their stories and building relationships with them. And we started to get, by doing that, we started to get the nervous attention of the developer. What are you doing? Why are you mixing it up with our residents? This is a story of one meeting that was set up between us and the developer to talk about the future of those residents. A meeting was set up in the evening. The developer hosted the meeting in his big boardroom, and he arrived at that meeting with an adversarial attitude. He was on one side of the table and we were on the other. He was clearly prepared for a fight. And so GEA arrived with 2 or 3 residents of Ascot Gardens that night. And what started out as a tense meeting soon began to relax as we helped each other listen to the stories of the challenges of what those proposed changes were going to mean to real lives. And here's the part of this meeting that I'll never forget. After telling her story, one of the residents turned to the developer and asked, "Stephen," that was his name, "what has been your experience of housing throughout your life?" This asked by a person who had never considered herself a leader at all in her life until that night, when she told her story and then asked this pointed question. Stephen was quiet for a moment, and then, as if remembering, began to tell a story of growing up in rental housing himself with his single mother, while she worked in a cafeteria every day and able to squirrel away $1 every day until she scraped enough for a down payment to buy a house, which changed his family's life. Unlocking those stories told in mutual relationships helped Stephen that night to be able to say, after about an hour or so, that in fact affordable housing was something he cared deeply about, that he'd forgotten that he was the recipient of affordable housing. And suddenly our interests aligned with what we could accomplish together, and that developer, at first an adversary, became an ally. In future housing conversations with City Hall, he helped GEA work with the City of Edmonton to provide a framework for how communities, renters, developers, affordable housing providers, and the city can collaborate toward necessary infill development and redevelopments while integrating meaningful affordable housing targets. Sometimes justice seems big and global and about social and systemic changes, huge things. And sometimes justice begins with encouraging us all to be in touch and to tell our stories. The biblical prophet Amos, along with Isaiah and Micah, famously insisted that if you're going to be true to your spiritual and religious undertakings, if this is going to be at all serious for you, then you have to be concerned primarily with justice. There's no getting around it. There's no closing your door and quieting all the voices and lighting a candle and being spiritual for a bit without something that resembles justice somewhere along the way. Here's how Amos put it: "Take away from me the noise of your songs. I will not listen to the melody of your harps, but let justice roll down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream." The prophet Micah asks the question like this: how do I show my respect? How do I live in a way that honors the deep connectedness of life? Here's how. Do what's fair and just. Be compassionate and kind-hearted. Be humble, knowing your connection to all. Justice is a social concept. It has to do with the order of society and how that order shapes or fails to shape human relationships with one another. We go back to the prophets because they're the justice warriors of their time, and they have a lot of wisdom to share. Hebrew prophets like Amos, Isaiah, Micah, Hosea rallied against three main things in their time. They rallied against the systems that broke down the strength of kinship in society. So if you were breaking apart relationships that needed to be together, be that in households, in communities, in villages, in wherever, that was a problem. They rallied against the systems that contributed to the ill treatment of the marginalized. And they rallied against the systems that exploited economic inequity. If you were doing any of those things, these prophetic justice workers had a problem with you. They were equal opportunity critics and justice seekers. They were against big business, which created the poor and accumulated land for themselves. They were against big government, which grew fat off unjustly high taxes and labor. They were against big religion, which colluded with both big government and big business to control the populace. And they were against big law, which jobbed the legal system to play favorites. To summarize the prophets, well, there's a famous quote that we know that seeks to do it: love your neighbor as yourself. But another way to encapsulate that prophetic message is how Amos and Micah have done it. Do what's fair and just, especially with those for whom the system has not favored, and be compassionate, kind-hearted, and humble. If we're talking about the ways we can incorporate acts of justice into our Christmas celebrations, into what it means to be lights in the world, it's not necessarily about the big actions of collective and organized action that changes policy and direction of our society, although it is about that. It's also about looking into the ways that we spend our time, the ways that we spend our money, where we give our allegiance, our dollars, our mental energy, and our commitments. In whatever we do, how are we either supporting or refusing to support unjust systems? Are we willing to spend the time and energy to find other ways? And believe me, to find the just ways takes more time and more energy and more money. Because the collusion of the systems makes it very cheap to be unjust and very convenient. In other words, it's a little bit of internal affairs for us. It's about looking at our own story. Thomas Merton, in his book, New Seeds of Contemplation, writes this: instead of hating the people you think are war makers, hate the appetites and disorder in your own soul, which are the causes of war. If you love peace, then hate injustice, hate tyranny, hate greed. But hate these things in yourself, not in another. Oh man, Thomas Merton, that's a tall order. But that's why he's a great light and wise writer of his time. We are not all born to heroic acts, to fame or fortune, to be history makers, but we're all born with the potential to make a difference to someone and to something. We have the capacity to do something rather than nothing, to remain creative in the face of all that seeks to erode the best of our humanness. We all have the capacity of which Thomas Merton speaks, that in our love for peace, we will hate injustice and tyranny and greed, but we will hate these things in ourselves first, and not in another. Maybe because justice, just like peace, begins at home. It begins with something going on inside of us. The small and great turns toward justice in our world often start with a few ordinary folk, inspired by a desire to restore basic humanness and willing to roll up their sleeves, to challenge the dominant narrative, to refuse to simply offer thoughts and prayers for our world, but taking our bodies and our counter-narrative public to tell stories, to listen to stories, and to reconstitute the world with the glimpse of another way. We learn from the long history of prophets of past times and our times that occupation doesn't lead to peace. Debt does not lead to justice. Co-opting religion into the business of propaganda does not lead to health. Making more people poor and fewer people rich does not lead to peace. Making more people poor and fewer people rich does not lead to peace. Promoting misinformation and scapegoating the marginalized. Turning people against one another and as an existential threat to the dominant way of life does not bring justice, nor comfort. So what if instead of this, we invite our living as individuals, as communities, and any who might witness, to create together simple acts of resistance in helping others tell their stories, in amplifying the prophetic calls to justice, by buying a gift for someone in our lives that means something and helps someone. To subvert ugliness with the beauty of our collective resistance. To raise our protest at whatever temples of corruption and collusion oppress our most vulnerable friends and neighbors. The policies and the priorities that would exploit the people we know and the people we don't know, whether they be human, animal, the air, the soil, the water upon which all life depends. The call to justice is broad and deep, and we can take any number of places in it. But know this, our spirituality, our connection with each other and the world doesn't mean a damn thing if we're not collectively talking about how we make even the least of a friend or a stranger's life a little bit better. What small and significant acts of justice will find us in our days? It's a time to ask that question. What and whose story will we share? It's time to ask that question. How will we individually and work together as communities to act collectively, to hear a story, and to change a life? And to take even the tiniest act for justice in this season of justice. May those questions live with us and breathe through us this year.
We embrace with gratitude the gift of life, the mysteries of being, and the nudge towards transformation. In this day, may we strengthen our intentions to bring healing to hurt, peace to violence, beauty to ugliness, and love where there is brokenness. May we find the grace to accept ourselves, affirm each person's value, and work. Yeah, it's fine, dude. befriend, balance our egos, and bring energy to living our highest values. We pray as those born of love and endless light. May it be so.
Into the day and into the week we go, with the knowledge that the light goes with us, the light of kindness, the light of justice, for our small and large acts that will make a difference to our living and to all those around us. May we go with tidings of comfort and joy.